Всем привет, ребята! Сегодня у нас стрим Council. Часть вторая. Сейчас вторая. Часть вторая.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Выбираем манускрипты. Так, я уже посмотрел. Вот это лучше всего. Наука языка, знания, эрудиции. Так, дальше. Логика, этикет. Этикет, логика. Убеждение, эрудиция. Все. Кабинет лорда Мортимера. 22 января 1793 года.
At last
часть
we
вторая.
meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. However, there may be some new developments, but I don't know if they are linked to your mother. We have found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. I'm afraid she was brutally murdered, stabbed several times.
Видимо, это неправильный выбор сделал. Еще первый час.
Who could have done it?
That is precisely what I would like you to help us determine, Louis. Duchess Hillsborough informed us that she accompanied you at the beginning of the evening. You apparently bumped into Miss Adams, who wanted to speak to you. We are told you turned her away, and she went away on her own.
That's correct.
Do you know what she wanted to see you about, by any chance?
She seemed upset about something. I thought she was under the influence of alcohol, but we didn't really speak.
Pity. The poor child was probably trying to find help.
I thought it could wait until tomorrow.
Apparently not. Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed.
I understand. What do you intend to do?
I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi, so I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Ну что ж, начнем расследование.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Вперед. Вперед, 1 минуту. Секунд. Идем быстрее, да. Ну что же, поговорим с Пиаджем. О! Это что такое? Нет, я курс. Нет места. Ну что, пойдем. Пойдем.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say that. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Perry. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Подозреваем. Ладно, идем дальше. Интересно, это есть. О, здесь. Ключ. Все, вода.
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
Так. Золотой эликсир.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Ну, я пароль не знаю, так что. Ладно. Ладно. Угадалку играть. Так, кто там свистит, блин? В комнате свистеть нельзя. Веник не будет, чуваки-палки. Ладно. Кармелитская вода. Что такое интересная картинка. На что посмотрим.
The nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
Здесь. Книга. Известно. О, мед. Мне пригодится.
Honey.
I couldn't have hoped for better. I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
I'll be in touch as soon as I have any more
Очень
information.
интересно. Идем дальше. Ничего интересного здесь нет, правда, идем дальше. Поговорим с гостями дальше. Закрыто. Комната.
Monsieur Johann van Vulna.
Закрыто. Так, идем дальше.
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
Nothing special.
I'd have thought
Подозрительно.
this is not really the shortest way to get to your suite.
Yes, I wasn't really looking where I was going. I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Ну-ка, проследуем. Подожди сейчас. Ничего интересного. Пентаграмма. Что-то вроде оккультизм. Оккультизм. Что-то. Так. Здесь у нас шкатулка. Откроем.
A chest with a half-circle pattern.
Вот там. Эндар. Письмо.
An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible.
Недоступно, ладно, возьмем. Так, что там дальше? Мы с тобой следуем. Плюс нож вход. Нож. Логика.
The handprint on the handle is really small. I can't imagine a man with a hand that size. It must be from a woman's hand.
Женская. Это значит нож женский.
Knocked over a bottle of wine.
Запах недоступно, ладно.
What kind of plunk is that? Hey, it's a Bordeaux. That's a Chateau de Briand. It's a great wine. I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable. Poor girl bled to death.
Много куда-то охраны. Куда-то
Whoever
рано
left that
следует.
footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Так, я рассмотрел руку.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars. People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control.
Так, рассмотреть.
Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts.
Татуировка. Недоступно ничего из выбранных. Ну ладно, вернемся. Вернуться к изучить торс.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Ну, рассмотреть раны.
It looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle, as if the murderer was standing behind Elizabeth.
Так, изучить татуировку.
Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Значит, кожа пришили, прячь за изверги. Это же издевательство. Ладно, вернемся дальше. Изучить голову.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations. She bled from the nose.
Так, рассмотреть кровь.
There are signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Рассмотреть кровь. Нос выбор сделать. Нос выбор дополнительно. Рассмотреть нос. Так, изучить рот.
What a strange smell.
Определить, что недоступно запах.
Laudanum. Certain courtiers use it to get drunk. If taken in large quantities, it can provoke fits of madness.
Так. Вернуться. Мне руку уже...
No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. No marks or bruising around the wrists. It doesn't look like she was tied up or held by force. Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. The direction of the blood streaks caused by the wounds to the thorax show that she was standing when she lost blood. This proves that she was standing when she was assassinated, possibly held by someone or something. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
Ладно, вернемся дальше. Все. Чего интересного так?
Vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
Так, пентаграмма. Пентаграмма.
A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here?
подумать о связи со смертью Элизабет.
I wonder if Elizabeth's death has anything at all to do with this pentagram. If a ritual went wrong and degenerated, Elizabeth would probably have been killed in the center of the pentagram, not 3 meters from here. That's strange. A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here? Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
Yeah. Just
Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear. It's a travel dress. The silk has been lightly waxed to protect it from bad weather. And I know the very woman who came up with the idea, given all the traveling she does. My mother. God help us. Why did she come here in the first place? The material appears to have undergone abnormal wear and tear. She must have been scouring the countryside, and that doesn't look good. Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
вспомни платье.
Color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Так, держишь пистолет.
Pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light.
Новый пистолет. Это же
A tribute engraved on the barrel to the liberators of France.
Франция.
There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. Right. I shall have to find its owner.
Письмо-то я уже читал.
June 11th.
Я не читал.
A notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages.
Не знали.
Not too easy to work out.
Что монетка?
A Byzance.
Монетки. Да, что-то.
Huh. The talisman that I gave back to Elizabeth. I can't exactly say it brought her good luck.
Есть часы.
Clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. That would clear Emily de facto because she was still with me at the time.
Так, вот здесь записка.
My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing to inform you of some unfortunate news. We won't be able to meet as planned on the first Sunday of May. I've been told that you're no better, and, unfortunately, your brothers and I are absent.
Так, я потом приду. Прожечка.
Has finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Идем дальше. Так, здесь у нас кто?
President
Вашингтон.
George Washington.
Так, говорим с президентом. Есть ли здесь что-то интересное здесь? Призраки. Завтра Великсы. Так, у меня же меда больше 2 штук осталось. Ну, прошу пригодиться. Так. Ничего интересного. О, мед. Вроде. Куда-то так, вроде что он. Картинка мне не надо. Стоп.
It's Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Какая там сила никакой не была.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Политика надо была.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know you're...
Телескоп. Вот же немножечко. Да, ничего интересного.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Так,
Are you all right, Mr. President? Are you feeling all right?
Oh, don't worry. It's this rotten toothache. What do you expect? I'm no spring chicken now.
вода.
I'm talking to all the guests to find out who has an alibi and, well, who doesn't, Mr. President. Can you tell me what you were doing last night so that I can strike your name off the list?
I spent the night right here, reading.
All night?
Exactly. Emily stopped by in the middle of the night, you can ask her. She wanted to talk about some business we have in common.
Anything whatsoever to do with Elizabeth?
Not at all, Louis. A business matter.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines. Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry, but that case was closed if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt,
I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her. It would appear that she wasn't invited to the conference.
That doesn't surprise me. The poor girl was in no way concerned by our business, and she had no political clout.
So, I don't understand why Sir Gregory invited her during the conference of his good friend Lord Mortimer. He must have realized that he wouldn't have much time to grant her. Preparing a conference does not seem an easy task. On the evening of our arrival, Lord Mortimer didn't even welcome us, what with his being so busy and all.
Yes, you're right, Louis. I didn't think of that. It is indeed rather surprising. The easiest thing to do is simply ask him, you know.
Of course. Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Не подозрение. Так, идем дальше.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Его-то здесь нет.
Huh, that's me.
Нет, это делать ничего.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Его тоже тут нет. Так.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Ну, поговорим с ней.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. T.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal...
Золотой эликсир.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise taxes with the King? I will personally see to it that our nation will recover from this impasse. But King George's...
Two coils circle the lock.
Dear Gregory, thank you for the information. I've managed to find out about the names you gave me. George Washington is a man you can trust. In spite of his obvious talent for politics, he has remained upright and honest. On the other hand, as you may well know, he is already doing business with Lord Mortimer. It will be more difficult to approach him. Napoleon Bonaparte was unknown to me until today. He's a passionate young French soldier for whom Mortimer predicts a promising future. Take heed. He is a man of conviction, which to my mind makes him potentially dangerous. As for Sarah de Richet, what more is there to say? You already know each other. She was apparently invited by Lord Mortimer about an ongoing matter in Paris that concerns a receiver in stolen art. See you soon. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Уважаемый Григорий, благодарю вас за информацию. Мне удалось немного разузнать об этих людях. Джорджу Вашингтону можно доверять. Несмотря на политический успех, он остался честным человеком. С другой стороны, как вам известно, он уже ведет дело с лордом Мортимером. Получить его доверие будет сложно. О Наполеоне Бонапарте я до сегодняшнего дня ничего не слышал. Это пылкий молодой офицер французской армии, которому Мортимер ворочит великое будущее. Будьте осторожны, он человек твердых убеждений, а потом, на мой взгляд, опасный противник. Что касается Сары де Риши, мне нечего сказать, вы уже знакомы. Судя по всему, лорд Мортимер пригласил ее из-за парижской шумихи вокруг заказчика того ограбления. Скорее встречи Игре. Эмили Хиллсборо. Что так сложно воспроизвести?
All right. I've retrieved everything.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William, I shall never thank you enough for looking after him. You know the latter's preferences, and you will understand he needs you desperately. For that, and as agreed with Queen Charlotte, our friend Duke Hillsborough will carry out his task and meet with you within 6 months. From then on,
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
a letter from William
А я
Pitt the
это читал.
Younger addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He only has indeed some powerful backers. Madam,
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
Ну, здесь надо только...
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with
Значит,
you.
ну,
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily. I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
так, что идем дальше. Так, я вроде как здесь был, не было. Там было здесь.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Наполеоном покорил. Здесь нет места для курса.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it. The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
Точно. Так. Письмо.
My dearest son, I'm writing to implore you to act quickly. The situation is rapidly worsening here. Paoli continues to steer our motherland, Corsica, toward open warfare between France and England. His men are everywhere. We are obliged to go into hiding and are unable to remain in the same place for more than 2 days. It's a beautiful weapon. Levi Damask, a bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
О, сюда. Просто. Монетка такая.
A fragment of amber.
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
Может, это их пистолет.
My dear Napoleon, as previously agreed, I would like to ask you to join us in January on my island to participate in the high...
Ясно, Уильям Мортимер.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol.
Я пистолет
Don't
на месте.
worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you. Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
С кем играть?
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Его не подозреваю. Так.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you.
Были необычные.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Да, были необычные происшествия.
Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
Так. Сколько длилась
What time
игра?
did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight, so I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No.
Что он делал в комнате?
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. Must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Так, а ну-ка еще раз.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Were you able to recognize the prowler?
Unfortunately not, no. It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
Excuse me for insisting, but if you saw him or her, I'm sure you would have more information than that. It's just that you don't think it can be of help to me.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Was it a woman, for instance? Bearing in mind that all the women here wear whalebone dresses, which is rather noticeable.
A man, I should say. I don't recall seeing the silhouette of a dress.
You see, you saw many things, in fact.
Hang on. Laissez-moi réfléchir. Let me think a minute.
A wig? His height? The sound of his footsteps, maybe.
Ah, his height. Oui, somewhat imposing. A tall man, and straight. As for the rest, I don't know, Monsieur de Richet.
Not to worry. That's already quite a lot. Thank you for everything. Were you able to recognize the prowler?
Unfortunately not, no. It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
But if I remember rightly, the night of her arrival was also the night of my arrival. So the person he saw leaving Elizabeth's room was Washington.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Да, я понял, этот раз я не мог не задерживать. Ладно, идем дальше. Так. Идем дальше.
Сюжет перерыв.
Тоже подозреваю.
What do you want from me, Rishay?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
Так. Что только не открою.
Great,
Ма.
honey.
Оп. Может пригодится. Поджечка. Нет.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris. It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris. Man, there's some well-known names on it. This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
Странно с психологией. Ладно, это смешно. Золотой эликсир. Компликую себе, дай.
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat will be waiting for you in Calais and will take you to Dover in England. From there, a carriage will take you to the port of Tintagel, where a frigate will be waiting for you and other guests.
Чего интересного. У нас есть письмо. Не знаю, встретимся ли мы снова. Я попал в ловушку собственных решений. Тебе нужно защитить. Без тебя у меня нет будущего. Твою жизнь еще можно спасти. Уже не важно, сердишься ли ты на меня. Просто знай, что я заключил сделку с дьяволом, которого надеялся обыграть. Я думал, что знаю все про этих чудовищ, но мой подвиг во время Франции — ничто по сравнению с тем, на что способны они. Выхода нет, их челюсти скоро сомкнутся. Люблю тебя и всегда буду любить.
A pattern with 4 circles.
взломанного ключа. Имеют банки. Это письмо. Куча писем.
Dear Monsieur Perru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. These funds will be crucial for the renovation of the western wing of the orphanage. The children you sent are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect they will cease in due course. Should you decide to send us more, please note that another 20 beds will soon be ready. The children and myself will never...
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Это устойчивость. Блин, недоступно.
I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations. You've wrapped up the investigation. All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting.
Ну ладно. Подожди, я тут больше ничего нет.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Устойчивость. Допрос.
Let's get right to it. Are you Elizabeth Adams' murderer?
That is for you to prove, if I'm not mistaken, boy. You weren't expecting me to do all the legwork for you, were you? Lazy man.
Goodbye, sir. We shall meet again.
Probably.
Dear Monsieur...
All right. I've retrieved everything.
Здесь ничего интересного. Так, вроде как все, больше ничего интересного. Ладно, идем тут. На. Закончил.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
I'll be in touch as soon as I have any more information.
Ты не то сделал. Ладно, не будешь.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble. It's probably nothing. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Perru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams?
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Ах, слушайте. Так, я еще кое с кем не поговорил. А, да, вспомнил, что и понял. Пойду кое с кем не успел поговорить. Нет, там наоборот. Сюда, туда.
Monsieur Johann van Vulne.
Не вольно. Картинка, ясно сколько.
Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever-obedient servant. So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth. But that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult. Golden elixir.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Так, я код не знаю. Может попытаться. Не, не хочу. Играть в угадайку, елки-палки. Я не хочу. Пойду дальше. Лист рассмотрим. Не хочешь. О, следующий тест.
Amber crystals.
А что это?
What can I do for you, Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Так. Недоступно.
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed. But I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly. Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship with Miss Adams was pure, and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
Так. Недоступно.
You loved her, didn't you?
That is none of your damn business.
Your feelings betray you, sir.
So what? Yes, I loved her like a moth loves the flame of a candle. That's why we could never be together.
Exactly how long had you been seeing her?
I have no reason to answer you.
I see. Is that what you want me to tell Lord Mortimer when he asks what I found out?
It's only been a few weeks.
I get the impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So? What does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an end to the relationship? You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agree.
Так. Недоступно, блин.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Без ботинки. Ладно. Короб. Так что, мне кажется, что с тем ты не договорил, хорошо. Так, ладно. Ладно, пойду договорю с кем-то. Даже еще раз посмотрю, что я пропустил. Может, я что-то пропустил, короче. Так, ладно, вот у нас. Письмо я это уже читал. Сейчас я смотрел. Что пропустил. Блин, тут все это пропускать. Нельзя. Не пропускается. Блин. Ладно.
Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs.
По-моему, я тут все изучил. Или нет? У нас все изучил. Ладно, по-моему. Здесь больше ничего такого нет, вроде как. Может, пистолет. Короче, бомба. А может, это...
June 11th, 1791.
Ну, это я читал.
August 24th.
Это я что читал. Ладно. Так, что-то я пропустил. Так, пойдем. Открывай дверь. Открывай дверь. Сейчас зам откройся. О, открылся. Так, это комната.
President George Washington.
Да, сейчас поговорю с ним.
Greetings, Louis.
Выбор сделан. Это сделано, это она что-то. Это уже сделано.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Do you take it regularly, Mr. President?
Unfortunately, I do, Louis. I still suffer from a terrible toothache, and it's not likely to get any better.
It's just for that, then.
Old age, my young friend. I don't wish it upon you, but you'll soon see. At my age, it's rare to have no problems in that domain.
And do you take a lot?
A moderate amount, Louis. Only the dosage indicated on the prescription of my doctor.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines.
закончил.
I shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Что же я пропустил?
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to...
Это что?
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Это недоступно. Ладно. Недоступно. Ничего интересного здесь нет. Ладно, идем дальше. Что-то я пропустил, блин. Что-то я пропустил. Тема. Не знаю, что там туда. Так. Закрыт. Книжка, блин.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Его здесь нет. Там.
Huh, that's me.
Мне там делать нечего. Так, куда дальше идти? Она Елизавета.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Герцог. Ну, я с ним. Его здесь тоже.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Ага.
King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the woman he was Duchess.
О!
Amber.
Dear E,
Так, это я уж... Это я уж... Это что там?
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there from what I can tell.
Ничего интересного.
what can I do for you, Louis?
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
Nice.
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Всем дальше. Так.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
Блин, что я мог пропустить? Ничего не понял.
Hannibal crossing the Alps. Another military success. The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of grandeur. French actor Talma as Nero in Britannicus, the last emperor of the Caesar dynasty.
Здесь вот
My dear Napoleon,
письма читал.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, two great army chiefs.
Что я мог
Monsieur de
пропустить?
Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards. Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Что я мог пропустить? Непонятно.
Jacques Perru.
С ними уже поговорим. Что я мог пропустить? Так, подождите, поговорю кое-что. Что я мог пропустить? Непонятно. Где я пропустил?
Are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting. All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations. You've wrapped up the investigation. All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. Two days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping away. You think you're Investigator of the Year. Have you taken a look at yourself, Richet?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Why?
Nothing. Get away from me.
Just as soon as you stopped treating me like I'm an idiot. If you wanted people to think you were guilty, you couldn't have done any better. So cut the bullshit and come clean now.
I can't! He'll come for revenge.
Who?
No one! Just shut your trap, goddammit! Yes, I was there. Yes, I walked in her blood. You've got all you need to wrap it up. Now scram!
Серьезно, меня выгнали? Меня выгнали.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Опять
I'll
недоступно.
be in touch as soon as I have any more information.
Что-то я не так сделал.
Monsieur Johann van Vulne.
Я с ним не успел. Я же с ним не поговорил.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Golden elixir.
The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever obedient servant. So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth, but that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult. Byzant from the Byzantine Empire, a coin often used during the St. Louis era. A fragment of amber.
What can I do for you, Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed. But I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly. Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship with Miss Adams was pure, and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now. You loved her, didn't you?
That is none of your damn business.
Your feelings betray you, sir.
So what? Yes, I loved her like a moth loves the flame of a candle. That's why we could never be together.
Please, tell me a little more about the nature of your relationship.
That is a personal matter, monsieur.
Yes, that is true. So, tell me.
All right. It was passion. That's why we couldn't stay together. It scared her.
Exactly how long had you been seeing her?
I have no reason to answer you.
I see. Is that what you want me to tell Lord Mortimer when he asks what I found out?
It's only been a few weeks.
I get the impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So? What does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an end to the relationship? You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agreed.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Нет.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Да, я не хочу выносить. Но мне есть догадка, я не хочу выносить.
I'm sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
When I first came here, I wasn't that worried. In the past, my mother has taken a few liberties during her missions, including disappearing for several days on end.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris, we were working on a smuggling case to do with occult objects. We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
What was the name of your dealer?
The dealer was called von Burchard. As for the buyer, he was unknown to us.
No, I don't know anything about that. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wollner, and myself.
You forget Elizabeth Adams, my lord.
That's true. But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked. Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
It's possible.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jersey, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
My mother must have undoubtedly taken great pleasure in these exchanges. She always was one to appreciate broadening her knowledge. I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean-d'Acre.
Unfortunately, my lord, the Crusades are not my chosen field.
Well, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of time to learn. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
The room was just opposite Mortimer's study.
Так, у меня перерыв 10 минут. Перерыв 10 минут. Так.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
О, нет. Не доступ.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
What is this disc?
Магнит. Картинка. Идем дальше.
The door appears to be locked on the other side.
Пауза. Одну минуту. Оп. Ключ упали.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
Здесь подумать, как откроют надо.
I'm gonna need something to help me get the key that fell on the floor. The door was closed from the inside. Would Mother have provided something within reach to recover it? We'll see if it works. It's open.
Загадки. Бля, не люблю я загадки. Загадки. Тут загадки надо.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Справа забыл, там по поднамках. Ключи нужно здесь. Есть книга. Это мечтник.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. St. Paul painted by Guido Reni.
Меч.
St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean? So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe? So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
Одно и то же. Код. Ладно.
The New Testament.
Новый Завет. Послание к Коринфянам, Римлянам. Нет, не тот. Пустом. Наверное, это было. Приветствую. Послание к Римлянам. 1.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait, a note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative, awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that? It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini. The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostles? Ah, of course! There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostles. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
Рассмотреть лицо.
St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right! This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
Так. Молодой апостол. Это что? Блин, загадки, елки. Так, это не здесь. Там 11. Блин.
And ye know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him is no sin. This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord.
Так, 1 и 3.
And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and a half a time, from the face of the serpent. Hey, a new note. It's been folded carefully in the corner of this page. The writing, it's not my mother's. S. I found the book in your effects. I've concealed it where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, awaiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel.
Here's the angel. What does that mean? Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location of the next note.
Так, ну... Глаз ангела.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Паломник на паломниках.
Group of pilgrims, if I'm not mistaken, numbered respectively 12 and 14 in the last painting. With the simple operation suggested, that would mean that the new groups are 6 and 7.
Человек. Ну, там написано было... нет. Тут. Стремлено далеко. А, Корифьян. Пять и... Нет, неправильно, 12. А это...
And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave it to them and said, "Take, eat. This is my body." Стоп. Так, хорошо. Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Ah, look, here's a message. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Reni. There's nothing worth noticing here. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. No, nothing of value here. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected, and is nigh unto cursing, whose end is to be burned. Here's a message. There are some complications. Indeed, the Prussian is insistent. What's happening at your end? Do you need help? If tonight is not possible, let's see tomorrow evening, in the South Room, where we reviewed the situation. When Paul understood that only the axe counted, he went back on his tracks. I await your confirmation to his left, in the company of the pilgrims that have joined him. Yeah, this last comment is about their code. I should find new pilgrims near Paul. St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. Grit? St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust has built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come?
Что-то игра.
I guess I'll just come back later. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that? Clearly, she must be trying to do something useful, but what? Nightmare. Does that remind me of anything? It probably has to do with an object or something. Granting that this is the case, where am I to be found? Yes, it's the painting that was behind Mortimer's study. Well, let's see if Mortimer has anything to hide behind his painting. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Я отказался назвать лорду Мортиму время убийцы. Препарат послание матери. Я нашел все записки матушки. И ничего интересного. Так, 4 очков. Фокус. Манипулирование, развитие. Тикет. Убеждение. А где манускрипт? Вот. Это просто эрудиция. Политика, убеждение. Монополийный культизм. Ну это просто эрудиция. Политика мне не нужна. Культизм, как говорится.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
Малая гостиная. Так.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis? About last night, I'm guessing.
Sadly, no. Even if I'd like to have, alas. There are more pressing matters. I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
It must have been Emma I saw in my vision. I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay.
Не выдавать матушку.
They kept up a secret correspondence, which makes me think they were suspicious of someone.
And did you find out who it was?
No, but Von Wollner is mentioned. They were planning to make a quick getaway and were looking to hide something beforehand.
Have you got these messages?
Yes. Go ahead, take a look.
I see. I must say, thanks for your honesty, Louis.
Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
Блин. Кто сделал это помолчал?
Emily, there's something else.
Go on then.
It's about your sister. I don't know what happened exactly, but it's possible that my mother had a go at her.
I know, Louis. I found out that same evening. Well, thanks for not trying to hide it.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know I can. It seems that your mother tricked Emma. She apparently asked her to hide an important book, so that even she wouldn't know where it was. And then she shot her like a dog to make sure no one would ever find it again.
How did you find out?
Sir Gregory told me on my arrival.
I'm sincerely sorry, Emily.
Thank you, Louis. You're very kind. It means a lot to me. But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
There must be an explanation, Emily.
That's what we shall see.
We'll speak about it later, somewhere safe.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And what has Mr. Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet.
I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined.
What?
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before.
How dare they?
Oh dear.
Oh, as if
It's not Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous! Bastard! He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote! Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please, let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness, he was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Gentlemen, Duchess, we're all among people of reputable company here. We should be able to manage the conflicts of our nations in a respectful and orderly manner.
I fully agree with you, sir.
But
That's enough, sir.
with whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured, the response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too. Of course.
I heard about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned.
Что, серьезно?
I don't know why, but I
Или
doubt
всего
he'll
лишь
set
один
me
шанс?
alone. Let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Чем спрашивать?
Hear you speak, it sounds like you and my mother were close.
Let's say I hold your mother in high esteem, yes. We were even planning to work together.
That's what he was getting at.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
Признательно.
The cat's out of the bag now. More or less, but please do refresh my memory.
Yes, of course. Nothing of great importance in itself. During one of our discussions, she spoke of an old book which might have been of interest to me, and she had agreed to let me have it.
A book about what?
Ancient occultism. As you are aware, I am a doctor of theology. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
The least one can say is that he doesn't beat around the bush. Sarah never travels without a few books. What does the one you're looking for look like exactly?
It resembles a grimoire. It's divided into 7 parts, each one individually locked. It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. It's a unique copy. There's only one.
The mere mention of it makes his face light up. Well, I'll take a closer look, but I can't promise you anything. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchardt in Paris. Do you know him?
Блин, так. Манипулированный ответ отрицательный. Ладно, скажу правду.
Indeed. My mother and I had a brush with this individual just a few months ago.
What about?
About an object stolen from the Order a few years ago, which my mother wanted to recover.
This situation comes as a great surprise to me.
I got him now. I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. von Wollner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, von Wollner. You're the one who von Borchardt was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game. Please know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess.
Это кто? Холм Мортимер. Это король Тусы. Кто же это может быть?
Lord Mortimer.
Oh, you are way off the mark. There's nothing more for us to say.
Блин,
Bye.
не угадал.
You'd better go and check out the painting in Lord Mortimer's study.
Ладно, пойдем в кабинет. Так, кабинет лорда Мортимера. Может, пока поисследую что-то очень интересного есть. Шахматы игра. Не хочу шахматы. А по-моему, я здесь уже был. О.
There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest.
О, ключ.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Так, у меня не нужна книга.
Hey, these look like pages taken from an ancient encyclopedia. Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorfin was my favorite character. Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
Meaning?
This gentleman enjoys people talking about him for too many reasons. His undeserved titles, more than 10 in just 4 years, and each one more prestigious than the one before.
You don't think he deserves them?
If I had seen him on the battlefield, there might be some doubt. But that is not the case. The Queen would rather not risk losing him, so she consoles him with awards and titles.
So you don't have a very positive opinion?
His coveting French Catalonia does not encourage me to have one.
I understand your point of view.
Ладно, пошли.
Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her. À plus tard, monsieur.
Хорошо, я тебе скажу, когда найду маму. Ладно, пойду дальше. Так, где тут кабинет? Нифига не помолчим. Он на верхнем этаже, на третьем. Стоп, стоп. Эмили...
What do you want, Louis?
What do you think of our last guest?
Well, I never thought I would get the chance to meet that Hispanic Casanova in the flesh. His reputation is well known. The gentleman collects lovers, including, would you believe it, the Queen of Spain.
I doubt that Lord Mortimer invited him for his charm, if you want my opinion. Emily, what can you tell me about the coming conference?
Sir Gregory and Lord Mortimer organize this kind of high society meeting every so often in order to consider the world situation.
But to what purpose?
Well, by bringing together the most influential people from the dominant nations of the modern world, they allow the mighty to discuss matters with calm clarity. There are precedents of armistices being signed at the end of these talks, you know. Talking while holding a glass of brandy makes things easier. You'll see. You're leaving me?
Unfortunately, I have things to do. Thank you again, madam.
Так, по-моему, сюда. Нет, туда. Вот здесь кабинет на третьем этаже. На третьем этаже.
So, what did my mother mean by going beyond the nightmare?
Ночной кошмар. Это имеется в виду картинка, наверное. Это картинка. Оп, здесь что-то интересное. Финики.
Let's take a closer look.
Это конфеты.
Judging by the shape, I'd say they're Criollo cocoa beans. The chocolate of the Mayas, the rarest of the beans. Some even say they're an aphrodisiac. When a product is in fashion, people attribute all sorts of virtues to it, not to be given to animals.
Я не хочу. Имеют недоступен даже.
Now, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it. It's a book on the history of the Crusades. I don't think it has any connection with my research.
Это крестовые походы. Как? Подожди, здесь ничего интересного нет. Зачем мне дальше?
That's what you generally feed birds.
Счета 1000 за 1792 год. И какие-то счета. Порох. Не. Миссия полеть. Пишу к вам. Касательно датировки картин, которую вы получили от меня на время поставки. Примите во внимание, что они входят в мою коллекцию и датированы по масонскому календарю. Как вы могли уже догадаться, вам следует вычесть 4000 из каждой даты. Если Не хотите привести посетителей замечательно. Напоминаю, что масонское летоисчисление начинается с марта, а не января. Что касается картины с Лунгейном, я взял на себя смелость подбрать копье, чтобы она больше походила на настоящее. Настаиваю, чтобы вы поступили так же. Искренне ваш лорд Уильям Александр Мортимер Маркинес Уэст Фордшир. Ладно, это картинкой. Ночной кошмар, это и есть. Ладно,
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781. Ah, this must be what my mother was talking about. Now just need to find out what she meant by go beyond. Hey, looks like it's mounted on rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There must be a mechanism somewhere.
Что искать механизм? Так, где тут? Найдите махну двигавших. Загадки. О, а это что? Интересно. Стоп, это что, коды? Только кодов не хватило, или нет? Или
Aha,
коды?
I found it. Oh, what on earth is this? A ring lock now? Great. That's all I needed.
Эх, не люблю коды. Какой же код, блин? Найдите код от потайной двери. На каком школе?
Might come in handy. A mina bird.
Серьезно, она разговаривает умеет. Ладно, поговорим. Упомянуть лорда Мортимера. Так, подожди.
Sarah Derishe? Waldo, you know Sarah? What? Repeat that, Waldo. Sarah? What about Sarah? Good God, what's been happening here? Well, Waldo, is your master good?
Серьезно.
I don't really know what I was expecting.
Он меня еще опять как покормит. Ну, подожди, еще раз попробую спуститься.
Tell me the door code. Here I am talking to a bird. Shame on me.
Надо еще раз надо покормить ее, да, она возьмет. Блин. Подожди, а это можно? Или нельзя?
Let's take a closer look.
Блин, животных кормить нельзя с ними же. Надо было первый раз спросить про код, блин.
No, what have we got here? This painting isn't finished, and it looks like Mortimer probably did it. Not bad, but you can't exactly say it's been done in the style of the period. A mina bird. Tell me the door code.
Серьезно?
Here I am talking to a bird. Shame on me.
Ёлки-палки, я не хочу птицу кормить твой компьютер. Давай первый раз хозяинку.
Hey, there are two dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL. The two dates most likely relate to two calendars. The Gregorian calendar and, well, the Freemason calendar.
Так, какой там код был?
Hey, there are two dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL.
Попробуем 5154. Что за коды такие странные, бля? Замените сейчас. Не тот код.
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Ну-ка еще раз.
Hey, there are two dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL.
1054. 1054. Да, точно. Стоп, бля.
Well, I got it wrong.
Серьезно?
It doesn't matter. History of the First Crusades by Pierre Amédée de la Salle. Hey, the dates indicate AL and it looks like 4,000 years have been added to our calendar. Oh, that counting system again. The Crusades took place not long after the year 1000. Here all the dates say 5,000 and something. I'm guessing this dating system begins 4,000 years before the calendar that we use. Yet, I'm getting the feeling that there's something else, another small detail, but what is it? Or how Louis VII, King of France, eager to be pardoned for the death of thousands of innocent people in the fire of the Church of Itri, convinces the Pope to authorize him to lead his own crusade. The result? In Germany, a new outburst of violence against the Jewish community. And a monumental fiasco by poor Louis VII, cuckolded by his wife's uncle. Famous call from Pope Gregory VIII in his Audita Tremendi Bull of 5187. Oh, the crusade where Richard the Lionhearted distinguished himself. It states the first sea blockade of Saint-Jean d'Acre was broken in the 12th month of 5190 AL, whereas the siege had been going on for 2 years. Open sesame.
Карта.
Let's see what you've been hiding, Lord Murderer.
Прошу вас убедить президента вашего не подписать закон о беглых рабах в нынешнем виде. Этот вопрос не нужно решать на национальном уровне, а не в каждом штате. Отдельный законопроект помог разрешить конфликт между Пенсильванией и Вирджинией, но подписать его мы рискуем узаконить охоту на негров. Все больше людей отправляются на поиск беглых рабов, никого не находят и похищают негров. Я вас заранее благодарю за помощь. Передайте привет моей дочери. А вдруг она... Откуда здесь письмо, блин? Карты какой-то. Не даст.
It shows the forces present in Africa. This is unexpected activity in this sector. It looks like there are also many unknowns, even for Mortimer.
Надеюсь, почта несовершенно. Типографии конфисковали, а меня дать шлиф Лисейбургский припас, если он даст мешать эпизод. Вызвать мне буду в вечном долгу. В ближайшее время Екатерина закрутила уже золотого ордена в империи. Наше будущее представляет весьма мрачно. Представляете Николай Новиков.
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Tremor. He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone by constant daily repetition until the mind gives in. And goes on, there are hundreds of good ways to live life, but you only need one to convince the masses that it's the only one possible. The author isn't letting any ethical principles get in his way, is he?
Подарок доставлен. Тимур Шахтуран, прятал Афганистан. Да.
This shows the forces present in America.
Дорогой друг, много благодарен вам за помощь в борьбе с испанцами и возвращение в Иран. Корабль, идущий в французском море, всегда фрахтован. Корабль, идущий на его борту, находится несколько человек, погибших, которые с нашей стороны. Будьте предельно осторожны с этим ящиком. Если в случайно откроют, чума может быстро хватить в Францию. Дорогой друг, как вы просили, собрал друзей, чтобы подписать предложенный момент договор. Отныне будем называть его Батонское соглашение. Если вы вспомните место, где первый встретились, то вы поймете, почему мы так назвали его. Да. Дорогой друг, благодарю письмо и разделяю ваши опасения. Сделали, что придется собить верно. Номинал выгоды из сложившейся ситуации. Я не пишу. Я памятую в ваших словах, с сожженным сердцем отправляюсь на встречу коалиции. Подруга стоит против вас. Уильям, не знаю, чего ты добиваешь, но отец выражает недостаточным влиянием на Европу. Россия собирается примкнуть коалицию против твоей любимой Франции. Ты не сможешь долго сопротивляться, просто что Уильям не упрямся. Ты выносишь разлад наш с любовью. Твой брат, я посчитаю собранную часть.
It shows the forces present in Europe. It's clear that France is surrounded by her enemies. However, a large number has been underlined in bold. 26 million. I know what it is.
It's an estimation of my country's population. All our neighbors have far fewer inhabitants.
Письмо. Дорогой лорд Мортимер, помогли Китаю, сообщив важное сведения, что и вас ждет вознаграждение. Чтобы Великобритания не замыслила против нас, не переживайте, ее представитель мистер Маккартни во время своего визита ничего от нас не добьется. Ваш друг Сианлун, император сын.
It's locked. Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
Сэр, мы поддерживаем ваше намерение вмешаться в политику Бельгии. Я беру на себя прусскую армию. Отправив пушки в армию, мы обеспечим вам победу, как и договорились с прусской король. Предупреждено о нападении к власти Северной. Я не пишу австрийцев в Бельгию. Сейчас же мне уверенно вернуться в Париж. Боюсь, король Людовика уготована на печальную участь. Я считаю своим долгом вмешаться. Если изволите написать мне письмо, передайте его, как обычно, через нашего друга, месье Перю, искренне ваш Шарль де
A fine-looking map of the Orient, indeed.
Лорд Мортимер, к сожалению, сообщает, что давление России с каждым днем становится сильнее. Императрица Екатерина делает все, чтобы Игра Прованский стала регентом финансового королевства. Поскольку король Людовик сдержался политически, простите за дурновесие, но готовьте к темным временам. Ваш друг Эльфрид Турбал. Посмотрим, осмелитесь ли встретиться со мной в тет-а-тет.
This is my mother's writing. I've picked up her trail. What is she up to? Obviously, she wants to lure Mortimer somewhere, but where? The only clue she's left for Mortimer is his stone sword. It must be intentional. It looks like a decorative sword, like from a statue, for example. And judging by the state of it, I'm guessing it's been left outside for a long time. I have absolutely got to find out where it came from. Something strange about this table. What kind of experiments does Mortimer carry out here? It's a dissection table. So Mortimer does autopsies here on his desert island. But who is he doing autopsies on then? Preservation using formaldehyde. Just as disgusting as ever. Looks like obsidian or onyx. Must weigh a ton. These are feathers. Pigeon, probably. A skeleton by the name of Gustav, if the plaque on the plinth is anything to go by.
Лорд Мортимер, как вы просили, я изменил Аштаргам, вдохновившись речи вашего друга доктора Кельютяна, я разработал новый замок и надеюсь, что вам понравится прототип. Замок не просто собрат, но он будет расположен прямо посередине двери. Цель добавить некий механизм. Заместить пространство камник либо открыт, либо и назвал свои изобретения испытанием веры, поскольку добродетельный человек не стал бы к ним пришел. Идея фасцинирования. Создал замок, который для него кодом был. Друг мой, кто возмущается над всеми олимпийцами, размеченных половина, как владыка богов. В отличие от своего Кроноса, он был не только силен, но и мудр. Вместо того, чтобы бояться своих детей и братьев, он правил миром вместе с ними. Смертный боец его молнии, он справедлив и могуч, но не деспотичен.
That must be for writing the homing pigeon messages.
Лорд Мортимер, прошу вас не сомневаться в моей верности. План сработал. Крестьяне в Индии готовят мятеж. Мои люди стараются усилить давление на народ. Учредительное собрание накалили обстановку, приняв закон о гражданском устройстве, духовенстве. Люди массово отвергают священников и клянутся верности государству. Если национальные комитеты и правда спровоцируют народное восстание, вопрос будет решен. Не смею вам указывать на массовый призыв на войну вдали от родины, существенно взлет революционное настроение. Ваш верный слуга Франсуа Атанасович контр. Да. Ключ.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Да, у меня нет второй замок.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Друг дела нас идет просто великолепно. Мы проявили монетный акт. И собираемся по вашему указанию основать первый американский банк, который, вероятно, получит название Union Bank. Строительство Белого дома начнется в октябре. Я прослежу, чтобы все было сделано в срок. Надеюсь на скорую встречу. Томас Джефферсон, государственный секретарь.
Some goat skulls, chicken legs. Now we all know what that's for. I'm a little surprised at Mortimer. I didn't seem as the type to be organizing little pagan parties, invoking occult powers, and dancing naked under the full moon. I'm more used to seeing cheap charms like this sold by charlatans in Pré Saint-Gervais. Look, a pack of tarot cards. Has he been reading the cards? Mortimer? That would surprise me. It is a typical draw on a line that answers a specific question. To the left, temperance, that announces a reward for one who patiently waits before taking any action. And in the middle, the chariot, which symbolizes triumph and business success. To the right, the emperor evokes a future full of power and stability.
Лорд Мортимер, тигр умирает. По вашей просьбе мы напали на Траванкор и перерезали глотки всем англичанам, которые могли, но без помощи французов. Мои солдаты долго не продержатся. Нам прислали новые снаряды, но в наши силы уже не исходят. Прошу, помогите. Типа всех и правитель Мансур. Так, а мне второй ключ нет. Как я открою? Где-то второй ключ должен. Здесь что такое? Железная маска.
An iron mask. I wonder who it's for.
Здесь.
Am I seeing things, or is that an actual von Leeuwenhoek microscope? Incredible. Mortimer really is at the cutting edge of science. Even at the Order, it took us ages to get one of those. A table of alchemical elements.
So, Lord Mortimer also studies alchemy? It seems like he's interested in everything.
Это что такое?
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Что? Может, где-то ключ есть, наверное. Так. Здесь нигде ключа нет. Не вижу, где ключ. Ладно, взломай. Пофиг. Так, что там это,
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Ключ, вода. Коллекционная монетка. Коллекционные монеты. Так. Отправьте их на поиски матери. Вот здесь ничего интересного нет. Золотой эликсир.
It's locked. Oh shit. How am I gonna get out of here now?
Найдите способ выбраться.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side. Looks like the same as the one on the other side.
Подобный там механизм сел. Стоп. Бляха, куда я нажал?
Same as the one on the other side. The mechanism passes through the wall. The wheels are the same on both sides. Chances are the combination I used on the other side works on this side too.
А, так, надо по-другому включиться. Значит, получается. Раз. Стоп. Раз. Пять. Попробуй отпустить. Да, отпускает, я же клю, блядь, рычаг, ёлки-палки. Ну, попробуй. О!
Whoa. The grid closes a bit more every time I enter a wrong date. I better not mess up again. Yet I'm sure there's a connection with the date that I've entered earlier to open the door. Maybe I'm not approaching the problem from the right angle.
Так, а как надо раз... Подожди. Так. Раз. Ну, все это попало.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
Бля, я застрял.
Wheels are stuck. Shit! I'm cornered like a rat.
Я застрял. Застрял.
Wheels are stuck. Shit! I'm cornered like a rat.
Неправильный код набрал. Пиздец. Мне помощь выбраться.
Someone's coming. Please don't let it be Mortimer. Who is it?
Deliberately avoiding me. 4 years ago I was his favorite, but nowadays I have to ask for an audience with his lordship.
Damn it! It's Peru. Monsieur Peru! It's Mr. Deriche. I'm sort of trapped behind this painting.
What are you playing at, goddammit?
Help me out of here, please.
How can I open it?
There's a pedal under Lord Mortimer's desk. Can you see it?
There's no... Hang on. Yes.
Good. Now press it.
Yeah. Done.
You should see something resembling a frame with numbers. Yes? You have to turn them to set the combination. 1191.
Yeah.
Well. Poking our nose into Mortimer's little secrets, are we? You do surprise me.
It's not what you're thinking. I'll explain everything.
No, you will not, sir. It has nothing to do with me, and by the way, I never even saw you. So, I'll be on my way now.
Thanks again.
Yeah. Бля,
I'm indebted to you. I won't forget this.
Yeah. Goodbye.
I've wasted enough time. I better get moving if I want to find my mother.
Не повезло мне выбраться. Ладно. Четыречка в навыках. Не нажму прием. Вот, ладно, вот. На, полетим.
This note is about a meeting with Lord Mortimer. There's no doubt about it. Alright, I need to find out where the sword that came with it's from in order to find Mother.
You're joking, I hope. Don't tell me you've done that.
Really? How do you expect me to guess?
Oh, for God's sake, just ask them.
Бля. Очень напускной матери или просто стрессовал.
We must absolutely inform Sir Gregory. How long has he been trying to collect all the spears?
I must have brought him the first one 20-odd years ago.
Do you know if he has managed to get the original?
Well, in any case, he's got all the ones we had at the Vatican. He made me replace them with copies. But I don't understand your reaction. I'm sure it is nothing serious.
I can see very well you do not understand. You have done nothing less than sign our death warrants, and still you don't understand.
Someone is listening.
What?
Попался.
Monsieur de Richet, why not join us rather than find yourself eavesdropping?
I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Of course you didn't. So, my son, what can we do for you?
Рассказать о камне мече.
I was wondering if you might have seen an object like this, here, at the manor.
What are you playing at, de Richet?
I'm afraid I can't help you, my son. Ask someone who knows the manor better than I do. One of the servants, for example. One of them is bound to help you.
Thank you for your advice, Your Eminence. I didn't mean to spy on you, but you caught my attention. Your Eminence, I don't know what you said to Mr. von Volna, but the poor fellow looks positively crestfallen.
Not at all.
Don't you believe it, Louis. I was just telling Monsieur about Lord Mortimer's burning passion for holy relics. You must have noticed he's a bit of a collector. Well, for years he has been searching high and low to bring all the copies of the Holy Spear together. As I was coming here, I thought I'd bring him a few of them. That's all.
Be quiet, for God's sake. Please leave us, monsieur. His Eminence and I wish to finish our discussion alone.
Так, наш там идет. Слева внизу находится. Вот, поговорю с ним. О, мед.
A Greek drachma. One of the rare ancient coins to be mentioned both in the Bible and in the Quran.
There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
Перманентская вода.
I am sorry, sir, but the conference room is under preparation and is consequently inaccessible to guests.
Could you perhaps help me?
What can I do for you, sir?
Where did this sword come from?
From the garden, sir. That sword belongs to one of the statues in the garden.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it, sir.
Как попасать? Блять. О.
The sword probably came from this garden, but what could it have been used for?
Oh.
You again? God damn it, are you following me?
Wouldn't dream of it, sir.
What brings you here?
To tell the truth, I was wondering the same thing about you.
It's rare for guests to wander about in the garden. I wanted to be alone for 5 minutes.
You look worried.
Worried? No. Resolved would be a more exact term.
Resolved to do what?
What's the point in answering? You wouldn't believe me anyway. I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know. Be seeing ya.
Tell me, aren't you even curious?
Curiosity killed the cat, Monsieur de Richet. I admit, I may have judged you wrongly. Watching you seek out Mortimer's little secrets might even be amusing, if I didn't already know the consequences. See you later.
What scares you so much?
Don't mess with him, monsieur. If he offers his help, refuse it. Keep your freedom and get far away from here while you still can.
Не, перерыв нам нужен. Ах, продолжаем играть. Блин, какой-то лабиринт, елки-палки. По-моему, мяч должен быть тут. Или...
Ariadne. In Greek mythology, she helped Theseus get through the labyrinth. Looks like there's a crack in the region of the heart. If I recall the Iliad, Ariadne is none other than the daughter of Minos and Pasiphae. She was in love with Theseus and helped him in his quest to kill the Minotaur in return for a promise of marriage, if he defeated the monster. She gave him a reel of thread so that he could find his way back through the labyrinth, which was famous for being unsolvable. But once the beast was slain, the gallant was quick to abandon her on an island. Turns out heroes are not what they once were. Ariadne. Let's see. What's going to happen if I've got it wrong? Ariadne. Try something else.
Походим туда.
Icarus. The son of Daedalus and Nocrate. Impossible to mistake him with those wings. After flying too close to the sun, they came unstuck and he fell to his death. Pity. Hey, there's no crack here.
No.
Well, let's keep going.
Здесь легко заблудиться. Скушаем еще.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Minos, son of Zeus and Europa. If I remember correctly, he was the king of Crete. Married to Pasiphae, he had many children, including the famous Ariadne, whom history remembers for her thread. Hey, there's a crack in that statue. Theseus, son of Aegeus. He's the one who slayed the Minotaur. I wonder if Mother managed to solve this enigma. Pasiphae, daughter of Perseus and sister of Circe. She married Minos and became the Queen of Crete. She has no cracks. Alright, let's continue anyways. I wonder what this kiosk is doing in the middle of the garden. Too cramped to be able to do much. Well, there must be something going on there.
It's not doing.
What is that? It's like a sort of opening mechanism. Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped. There's a little hole at the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong, I'll get pricked. Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs. Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped. There's a little hole at the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong, I'll get pricked. Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs. Daedalus. He's the architect of the labyrinth, and if I'm not mistaken, he's also the father of Icarus.
Мне кажется, не то.
Asterion. It is rare to see him like this. In general, he's represented with the head of a bull, with the features of the Minotaur, the famous son of Minos and Pasiphae. This statue has a crack in it. Right. We'll soon see.
Сховано. А, блин.
It looks like this slab moves. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a passageway underneath it. It's up to the just to deliver judgment. Truth unlocks all possibilities.
Блять.
What's wrong? Either I'm imagining things or my hand was pricked. It had poison on it. My head. I feel hot. Asterion. Theseus. Looks like a crack has been made on his torso.
Надеюсь, в этот раз повезет, этого не надо. Блять.
Theseus. Let's try something else instead. Daedalus. Asterion. Let's go. Minos. The crack is in the region of the heart. Again?
You can't be serious, Manuel. You know that's not going to happen.
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
Agreed? I wasn't aware you had a choice.
What's going on here?
What now? What else must I do to win back my freedom?
Obey me. Now get out!
What was that? That's the third time in 3 days. Let's see if you're in there, Mother.
Опа.
A fragment of amber. Bandages. Someone's been patching themselves up. Looks like my mother took advantage of being in hiding to change her bandages, huh? This is silk. She must have used her own clothes. There are patches where the blood isn't totally clotted. That's a good sign, right? She changed them recently, which proves she's still looking after herself and still believes in her chances. Well, I'd love to tell her to keep hanging in there. bandages are pretty basic. She'll be lucky if she doesn't get an infection. Damn it, Mother. Now what's happened?
Все, конец истории.